Are they serious or are they joking?
Amaechi, the truth is, if this policy, if this statement and all of that had not happened yesterday and dragged up, I'm sure Nigeria this time would have joined NLC that look, this thing is enough.
Amaechi, good morning, TV. Good morning, dear listener. Someone was saying that the CBN has finally gone home to be roasted. What he means by that, well, we don't know. Why? He said shortly after the presidency statement, saying that they didn't tell the AGF and the Attorney General of the Federation and the CBN not to obey Supreme Court
not
judgment.
to
obey. That they didn't tell. They didn't tell. That is the underlying word. We didn't tell. And shortly after, the CBN came out with the directive asking commercial.
No, when did the presidency issue this statement?
That was around between 5 and 6 p.m. yesterday.
But the CBN the CBN board met with the bankers committee on Sunday. So it tells us that the CBN had taken the decision.
I was waiting. Because from what the president said, he said that the CBN did not need to wait for
body language.
Thank you. The body language.
What's his name? Your governor Soludo had told us that.
No, he said governor of Anambra.
As a former governor of the central bank, he has his people there. Probably he got the prior information.
No, he said
he spoke with the governor.
With the governor, and he can get information. Some persons were already feeling a sigh of relief when they heard that Soludo made that statement or made that phone call, put that phone call through, that the CBN directive was just to cement what they already feel. But as Tebe is saying, the NLC protest, I beg the NLC not to back down because until we see the manifestation of the directive of CBN, I don't think Nigerians will be calm. Why am I saying that? How much was printed in the new cash? 300 to 500 billion? We don't know the exact amount.
Much
300 billion. And they were saying they are going to print up to 1 trillion then. That was in January. We don't know exact amount. How much has been mopped up? Because don't forget, the CBN has told us that they've burnt some Naira note.
They've destroyed
some Naira note. So how much have been mopped up?
Did they say so? There were reports indicating so.
Edify mention of that.
Yeah, the reports.
Now, how much this is succeeded in mopping up, and how much do they plan to release if they are given a directive? And I mean, there's one thing that bothers me really. The CBN has consistently violated its own policies. Let's not go to the ways and means policy now. I want to be particular about the Naira mutilation policy. You go to the banks, yes, you are giving 50 Naira, 100 Naira. Go and see the Naira notes they were giving, mutilated. I want to beg Nigerians to put their heads together and sue the CBN. If you go to the bank now, because of I can leave. Why not? Because you have this policy is almost 10 years old. The mutilated Naira and not to spray money overhead during parties. Yet you go to the bank and they will give you mutilated notes, mutilated 50 Naira.
Okay.
So it's one aspect the CBN need to look into. Even if you want to release cash.
Yes.
Those monies are supposed to have been burnt.
Whatever it is, whatever you talked about the catapult that was fired and missing the target and all that. Well, that's their own thinking and that's their own reading. Whatever is the actual fact, what we can take away from what has happened is that I remember we called in an economist and financial expert into this program months back at the heat of this. How did he describe the Naira sword policy? A good intention that was badly implemented. Now, what has Nigeria gained in all this? Has the CBN succeeded in achieving the monetary policy objective it set out to achieve? For instance, curtailing the quantity of currency, amount of Naira in circulation, because if you're to pump this old, recirculate this old notes into perhaps even depending on the number of available, may surpass the 3 trillion, almost 2 trillion we have been using in the past. What is the cost to the economy? What is the cost to the country? Do we hold anybody responsible? If we don't find answers to these questions today, what was the real objective? Is it as alleged that it was targeted at Tinubu, or patriotic monetary policy objectives? Whatever it is, someday, sometime, we'll get the truth, and perhaps name and shame those involved.
Yeah, Amechi, let's give it to CBN, the area of kidnapping for ransom. I think this policy solved to an extent that issue, and also whether TV likes it or not, the policy has forced Nigerians to manage their spending habit.
Why are you bringing Teve into your analysis?
Well, you know he has a farm and he spends a lot, cash a lot.
So at that level, cash is a cash economy. At that level, it's a cash
economy. Those are the positives. They've helped Nigerians to manage their spending habits. You don't go just see anything on the road and say you want to buy.
You help Nigeria to cut their spending habits while you're also destroying the business of those that we are buying from.
Good, that's why
so if you're not spending, what happens to the goods that you were purchasing before?
Yeah, I was trying.
It gets back to the economy.
Based on what you said, I was trying to bring out the positives, then go back to the negatives. We saw in the trending video, where plantain were perished, tomatoes perished. Yeah, those are the negatives because you didn't let the cash out, and you do educate these people.
Well, like I said, genuine answers will stumble onto one day. But other issues developing yesterday, Labour Party officials and team of lawyers met with INEC officials at the INEC headquarters in Abuja. The chairman was there, and the chairman told them that the INEC has nothing to hide, even when the head of the Labour Party's legal team told the chairman that, like we told you yesterday, 21 days after declaration of result for you to go to court. And as that yesterday, Labour Party and perhaps PDP had only 10 days. Today is 9 days. The chairman promised to make avail to them the documents in Abuja, and they will join issues with the resident electoral commissioners across the country to also fix the modus of also giving them access to the documents within the states. Finally, that meeting was at the instance of the Labour Party, and like we said yesterday, INEC perhaps didn't show true leadership. As soon as that judgment came, they should have reached out, set the procedure and template that even the APC will benefit from, because the APC also has told us they will file cases so that everybody will have access. Waiting to be threatened, like the Labour Party did, and leaving the initiatives to the parties left a lot to be desired on the part of INEC.
I want to commend the Labour Party for going on all out to express their desire to claim, in quote, their mandate. And one quarrel with INEC, Amici, is the issue of configuration of beavers. You have configured these beavers and you say you have nothing to hide. Yeah, two sides of the coin. You are speaking from two sides of your mouth. Why didn't you
they said they guaranteed, or rather they promised that whatever you find in the beavers is at their back-end server.
Well, the bottom line is INEC has a lot of cleansing to do ahead of the governorship election. They need to come out. The Nigerians no longer trust them.
Is it spiritual cleansing, or which of them are you referring to?
I think we will need to hire the imams and the pastors to pray for INEC, to ensure that INEC delivers on its mandate, because most of Nigerians have lost confidence. You had the Labour Party spokesman saying we lost confidence in INEC.
You said most Nigerians. Is it you?
People that were disenfranchised. I was those that
voted for APC will tell you they have full confidence.
Full confidence. Lost confidence. I covered the election. I know several Nigerians that were disenfranchised on that day of the election. So what we are saying is that INEC should ensure that he keeps his mandate of free, fair, and credible election going to the governorship election, because the what happened on February 25 is still very fresh on the minds of those that couldn't vote. No election in the FCT, clear, but
in some parts.
No, I'm sure he's talking about March 18.
No March 18 election in FCT, but across the states. And Teve will tell you politics is grassrooted. We're going to see a lot of heat in the states, and if INEC does not sit upright, I'm telling you, Amechi, what we saw on February 25 will just be a tip of the iceberg, because Nigerians are angry. They are ready to face INEC. They say they will provide internet for them to transmit whatever result they want to transmit, and ensure that they help INEC to get it right this time around.
INEC, like I've always advocated, you pay attention to the process.
Because it's all about the process for the electoral system.
It's all about the process, So those should be fine-tuned. And my greatest advice to INEC also is that they should pick lessons from what happened on February 25 and what will happen on March 18, because some of the things that happened on February 25